to have places, to have times when you can just turn over a street for pets. We're talking about special events for bikes, you can do that for pets as well. In Chicago, coming Saturday, we are closing down State Street downtown all day Saturday. And it's just going to be pets, the whole street. Then the next Saturday, we're doing Milwaukee Avenue for 2 miles. Those are the kinds of things you might want to consider downtown on certain event days and times that just make it something to let pedestrians know that they really are welcome. Downtown walking tours. Tourism is a big deal here. Do you have a regular tour system so people can walk around and see the wonderful history that you have here? Walking school buses. That's how parents, instead of driving their kids to school, walk them to school in groups. So the parents can take turns being the walking school bus walker instead of a driver, things of that nature. And having the kids and the parents do walkability audits in their neighborhood to identify where the problems are. For enforcement, pet safety, again, the pet safety officers need to have that kind of training. Crosswalk yielding, sting campaigns where you get policemen out there and they step off the curb a little bit and then they step back, and if the car didn't stop, there's it right down there, half block down, and somebody gives that car a ticket. And you do that on TV, so everybody gets to see it. If you just do it for regular cars, only one person sees it, the person who gets the ticket. If you do it on TV, thousands of people see that happened, and they start realizing that, yeah, you have to yield to pedestrian in a crosswalk. That's the law.
Shame them.
That's the law here in the state of Wisconsin. A lot of drivers don't know that. And enforcing the speed limits on our arterials. Part of it is designing the streets so they don't look like they go so fast, but the other part is enforcing them. And then evaluation, just like we want to do bike counts, let's do some ped counts. What do we know? So we can know who's out there. Do routine walking assessments, and again, having that bike ped coordinator works both ways. So the final part is an implementation plan, and there are copies of that out on the front tables here. It looks like this, or it looks like the plan up there, and it lists everything. I'm going to run through and just hit a couple of the key parts of the implementation. Immediate term, and we've broken it down into 3 categories. Immediate term, which is the stuff we should really work on first. One is to get the bike ped coordinator and have a standing committee of bicycle and pedestrian, not just a bike committee, but a standing bike peds committee. Secondly, to start doing a bike lane, and we're recommending that King be your first bike boulevard, because it goes from the university right downtown, and it's got a lot of good things there. And adding bike lanes to Clinton. Clinton is perfect street for doing a road boulevard. Doing wayfinding signs. You've got 8 miles of routes out there that nobody knows where they go or what they do. So at least get those signs so people know where they're at when they're going around. And then we've listed various improvements. The signal at East and La Crosse and some others, things that we could do right away. And we're suggesting an accessibility fund. I think we suggested $50,000 a year that is devoted just to making sure that ramps are improved and made accessible where they're not accessible now, and to do a priority. And part of that map that we've showed you is a priority of where the first ones need to be done, the second ones and the third ones, and to prioritize them. The second part is what do we do next? What do we do the next 1, 2, 3 years? And we've listed more pedestrian intersection improvements, some of the more costly ones, maybe some signals like 33rd and Cooley, some of those kinds of things. And some of these, by the way, aren't necessarily city responsibility. Matt reminded me, some of those aren't state routes. And so a lot of this money I'm talking about isn't necessarily all city money. Some of it is we want the state to do some of these things. Or if we're doing a if we're doing a street resurfacing, we can put in the lanes for nothing then, because you have to put lane lines back on the street anyway when you resurface it, so let's put them back in where we want them. So these costs are